many.
Fantastic.
So once you learn how to sell to one person, it's only strategies, techniques, practice to learn to sell to many. So I was actually I was creating content about this recently. It was like all of these get rich quick schemes that are not get rich quick schemes, and how to develop a high value skill quickly. You see them posts about it everywhere. There's like tons of this content. High value skill and quickly do not happen in a fast period of time. It doesn't go. Like, you can't get a high value skill fast. No, because to get a high value skill, you have to become a high value person, right? Like, so
and that takes time.
it takes time. That being said, you could learn how to leverage. If you learn how to sell, you learn how to leverage other people's high value skills, right? So if you can sell, if you can connect someone from A to B, you don't actually need to have that skill to fulfill whatever you're selling, right? That's why I love sales. That's why I love it, because it is probably the fastest way to generating income.
All right, good. So I zoomed out. Let me zoom in so I can get a bit tactical. How exactly would you go about learning that skill of selling?
Yeah, good question. It really just depends, right? I was massive introvert when I started selling. I didn't.
You don't look it, man. You don't sound it now.
I'm a massive introvert, really. I love my own space. I don't really like small talk. Me doing this 4 years ago, no chance. Impossible task. Me talking on a phone, like sales calls, impossible task. So I think if you're going to go tactical, really, this is the truth, right? It boils down to what you want. Because if you're at a stage right now where you're not earning any money, or you could be earning more, you have to understand actually what the hell it is you want. So for me, I wanted to escape the life that I had, which was not enough money, sporadic income, failed football career, and I knew I was more. So then when I had an opportunity to go and sell, I had nothing to lose, right? Like I was just fighting to escape that reality. Yeah. So my fear of picking up the phone, being afraid to call people, getting rejection, I had a choice to make. Was it overcome these fears and there's a route to actually earning more money and getting there, or just sitting still? So that's the first decision you actually have to make, is like, okay, well, what do I want? What am I willing to sacrifice and commit to, versus what am I willing to settle with? That's the first thing you have to be aware of, because if you can't have that conversation,
very, very powerful, very, very powerful. It's very funny because some people don't know what they want, and some know what they want, but they're not willing to make the sacrifice to get what it is that they want. And then you're wondering why you're still in this viral loop. You're still in a rut.
Well, it's because they're comfortable. They're lying to themselves. They're lying to yourself. Whether you like it or not, you're lying to yourself because you've accepted your current existence. Because if you didn't accept it and you'd had enough, you'd fucking go do something about it, or you'd stick to your word. So, and I say that because I've lived that, and I live it over and over again, right? And it happens you're not like me now. I'm living my own version of that, just at a different level, right? There's certain things I'm afraid to go to the next level. It might be hiring more team. It might be, but if I settle here where I am, it's because I've accepted it. Now, you either lie to yourself and go, now I want to do this. Yeah, you might want to, but it's not a need. Like, you don't need to. You haven't created a need. And this is why you see people get so comfortable as the more they earn, because they start settling, which is fine, right? It's like your version of settling. So that is why most people don't achieve the things, especially in sales, is because they're settling, or they don't act on things. They're settling. They're comfortable.
They've settled. You know, I was watching The Crown yesterday, season 5.
I love it.
And then there was a quote by our king now, King Charles the Third, right? Yeah, he's our king now. And there was something he said, brilliant line. He said that it is only when we risk going too far that we find out how possibly how possible we can actually go. And that really, really resonated. Because Danny, think about it. If you set a goal right now that you want to do 500 million pounds, right? And you commit to that goal, like you may not hit that 500 million pounds. But guess what? Your income level will not be the same. Like when they say if you shoot for the stars, you fall in the moon.
Yeah.
So that was very, very powerful.
That's power.
They're extremely powerful. Now
it is. But on that note, let me just add to that.
Sure.
Most people, a lot of people don't know what actually triggers them to take action. They don't know because they're not asking themselves better questions, yeah? Or they'll avoid pain. See me? If I'm frustrated or I'm pissed off, I've messed up, or something's broken in the business or something, I respond so much better to negative and pain rather than, Dan, you know, go make £1 million or go. No interest. Doesn't bother me. I won't act. It doesn't. I can't connect the dots. But if you tell me, you know, something, get some critical feedback, or if something, we lost a client because of a certain reason, or so, I will respond so much faster because that's what triggers me. That's what drives me. That's what motivates me. That's because I know that's where I lean into to get better. Whereas a lot of people will see the fear and the pain, the frustration, and go, frustrated, I'm overwhelmed. No, that's all it is a fuel. I think Alex or Mosey talked about it. It's a fuel. Yeah, positive and negative, they're just fuels. It's your response to them, right? And you either pick it up, like let's imagine it's a piece of coal, right? You either put that coal in your rucksack and you carry it around like a weight and it weighs you down, or you put it in a steam engine and now you're moving in the direction where you want to go. Powerful. It's just a fuel.
Powerful.
So what no one cares, by the way. It's your choice.
It's the framing. No one cares. It's the way you framed it. It's the reframe. Yeah. Because for some people, they see a challenge, they frame it like the world has come to an end. But you're framing it as a gasoline to take you to the next level. I don't know if you've heard about, if you've seen this this thing where they say to you, walk into a shop and they say that there are 2 yogurts in the shop. One of them says to you that 80% fat free, 20% less fat, but the same thing that they're saying, but they just reframed it.
Yeah. So true. Yeah, so true. Don't think about it like that. So true.
So powerful. All right, Danny, what is the one truth about sales that you've changed your mind about recently, and why?
Great question. It always is. I think for me is when you sell, everybody gives you their framework, and there are certain frameworks you could follow, right? One of the things I am a big believer on is do not have a script. I used to read people used to read off scripts, like burn your script, especially if you're like a service or like an agency or someone, like you'll hire people and like you'll train them on a script.
Yeah.
Like that is such a robotic way of, because what happens is when you read from a script, right? They think they just focus on what they've got to say next. And selling is about actually listening your way into a sale. It's not what they actually say, it's what they don't say. So if you're focusing on words that are just on a piece of paper, you're not hearing those subtle hesitations, those them pauses, those you don't hear that because you're just focusing on getting through this script. So I don't think that's something that's new, but I just don't believe in scripts. And I believe in intuitively and actively listening your way into a sale. I go into every sales call genuinely trying to help the person, to my detriment sometimes, because I burn my own time. But the way I look at this is like this might be a different perspective, is I look at it like compound interest. You know, when you invest and the compounding effect over time.
Yeah.
10 years, your investment pot looks completely different. Every conversation, every social media interaction, every relationship I get on, sales call I get on, I look at it like a compound effect. Because if I go in there with a win-win and I over deliver on that promise, the amount of referrals and connections I get,
Mm-hmm.
and just from a conversation, it just stacks over time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't look at it like, right, can I close someone today? I look at it like, let's get a win-win from this conversation. And then I know it's going to pay back somewhere down the line. Because they're going to remember me. They're going to be like, is that you or me?
Sorry, let me turn up. But go ahead, yeah. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's you got to look at sales conversations as compounding, the compounding effect, rather than, oh, I'm going to close someone today.
I like that. That's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Extremely powerful. All right. There's a video of yours that I watched that really, really got me interested in you. I saw it on TikTok. You were talking about the difference between sales and marketing. I thought that was powerful.
Okay.
In fact, it's like that debate triggers people a lot. I just did a video on the difference between sales and marketing. Danny, that video has over 1,000 views on Instagram. I've not seen that kind of views before. It's crazy.
Nice.
It's crazy. And it converted so much. It's crazy. And there's something you said about I love the metaphor you used about ball. And I think like a golf ball.
Golf.
Can you speak to that? I thought that was brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sales and so first thing is this, right? If you don't like selling, you better get bloody good at marketing. Right? If you do not like selling, you have to get amazing at marketing, because marketing is what makes the sale easy. It will never become sales thing, right? Unless it's e-commerce, but we're talking about service businesses. You know, marketing, the better the marketing, the easier the sale. Yeah.
I feel like preaching.
So look at it like this. If we was going to play the game of golf, I'm terrible at golf.
Yeah.
But marketing is you putting the ball on the tee, looking up at the hole, and trying to hit that ball as close as to the hole as possible.
As possible, yeah.
That's marketing. How many times you get a hole in one?
You say what?
How many times do people often get a hole in one in golf?
Not a lot of times. Not a lot of times. Yeah.
So if you look at it like that, it says, I want to get that ball just as close to the hole so I can putt it in.
Yeah.
The putter is the close, right? Putter is the sell.
Yes.
Better than marketing, the closer to the ball to the hole.
Come on, brother. Come on, man.
You have to use
Come
that
on,
putter
man.
to close the deal.
Come on, man. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. So can we say that if we break it down to its nuts and bolts, marketing attracts, sales converts the attraction into money. Am I right about that? Or did I miss something there?
Yeah. The sale is the transaction, right? Like how many people come to me based on, like, what you said, I've watched that video. I've seen this. The trust that's already been built there.
That's right.
I know if I have the right product at the right price, you're going to buy it because you have the trust and you've reached out.
Yes.
If you don't know who I am, and then I put something in front of you that's going to cost whatever it is, I've still got to now work really hard to get you to believe that I can get you that desired outcome. But if you've stacked that value and that trust front end in your marketing, and you've attracted them and you've educated them and you've entertained them, closing becomes easy. It actually isn't closing. It's just, does this work for you? Is this the right price? If not, when? Okay, this is what you need to do to get here. If you know, it's a different game. If you hate selling, you just need to be good at marketing. You need to get great at marketing.
That's very powerful. I mean, is it not a disaster where somebody is not great at selling, is terrible at marketing? Then hey, how you gonna earn? How you gonna make money?
If you're bad at both, then you better hire some people.
There's something you said there earlier in the conversation when you said you were not really good at sales and marketing. You had to learn it. You had to learn it. You know, so I took a 45-minute walk today. I like walking. I like long walks. And I was listening to a podcast. This guy does over $1 million in his business. All right. He's a creator. And there's something he said. He said he was terrible at sales. He was terrible at marketing. He had to school himself. And here you are again, resonating those same things that you had to also school yourself. So anybody we call a master today was once an amateur. Anybody who's great today started somewhere. So I just wanted to put that out, that the Danny that you're seeing today that is great today, he didn't know how to do it. He learned it because
here's
he
the
was
thing, man.
hungry.
I don't see myself as being great.
Yes.
I'm the dumbest person in the
Learner,
room.
yeah.
I love it. And I used to think it was a flaw. I'm like dyslexic, ADHD. I used to play football. I've got no education. So it's again escaping where you want to be to where you want to go. Okay, well, what's my path? And when you start asking better questions, right,
you get better
instead
answers.
of you asking why and why is this me and why can't I do this, you ask how do I, who do I know? Your brain will start subconsciously trying to connect the dots, and then lo and behold, opportunities appear, and then you make a choice whether you want to go ahead or not. I was shocking at sales, and then I got to 100K salary sales business career. But I couldn't even, when I say bad, I couldn't even pick up the phone. Like my manager nearly sacked me, right? I never forget this. 2 weeks into the job, and I begged for this job for a year, by the way. It was an investment sales job, right?
This guy's badass.
I begged for a year, and I was so scared to cold call that when I picked up, I would put the phone down on them. So I would hang up on them while it's dialing, and then I pretend that they've hung up on me. Oh, okay, you're not interested, no problem. But they're not there, right? I've hung up on them because I'm that scared. I'm sweating, my shirt. I'm putting the phone down.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what, I was that afraid, right? And my manager could listen into all the calls. He's like, why'd you keep hanging up on people?
Come on, man. That's a great manager.
He's like, what are you doing? He's like, you do that again. You do that one more time, you're going to be fired. Like, go. And what I'm trying to say is that's how afraid I was to actually make a sound.
Well, you did it afraid, man.
Well, it took a long time. It took me a good 6 months to even get okay where I could get through a conversation and actually be myself on a phone call. Like that's how bad I was. And then I'd be able to, basically what I did in that scenario, and this is the best bit of advice to you if you're an introvert, you hate selling, is my biggest thing was rejection. So just instead of just trying to manage everything, what are the things that scare you about selling? Okay, well, my two things were rejection at the beginning and not being able to handle objections. Right. So who in the room is the best people that's selling? Right. Let me get all of their phone calls. Go home, listen to their phone calls, make notes. Whole weekend, weeks and weeks. Okay, that's how they deal with that. Okay, how are they dealing with these objections? Now the beauty is when you're on a phone, really, any product service is really like 5, maybe 10 objections at best. So you don't need a million objections.
Yes.
What are the best people saying when they say these objections? Okay, let's write this down. Okay, cool. Now I'm acting a little bit more confident because I've got a bit of a game plan here because I know the answers of what to say. I'm not going to get this. So when I get on the call, I've got a game plan. I can answer it. Someone hands an objection. I literally would flip to the page where I had the objections down and I do it. And then lo and behold, you get more confident and you grow. And then that's it. Like a year. But had I not been prepared and didn't have those objections in my head already planned out, I probably wouldn't have progressed. It's just simple that way. Just try and tackle one thing at a time.
That's deliberate practice. You're practicing deliberately exactly what it is that you want. Wow. Another thing that people talk about is this thing about paid audience and organic audience.
Yeah.
How do people balance both? Because there are some people that will tell you that, look, they don't have a paid audience. They don't have they don't run ads. They don't do those kind of things. But they're kicking it, and some run ads. How do you do the hybrid of both so that people can be successful in their businesses?
Yeah. People are too precious, man. It's just fucking taps. Look at it, taps and funnels. It's too precious. Like, oh, my organic, yes, they're because they've bought into who you are. They're going to buy from you because they love you. They come to see you. But if you want to grow fast, you're going to need to pay for that audience just because the platform don't give you the reach. So what do you want to do? Do you want to go to slow and steady? Do you want to pay for more eyes using ads? Or do you want to do both? But don't see it as better or not. Because when you tap out at your organic At some point you're going to run to ads and you're going to look like an idiot because you're going to go, I said I'll never do ads. You will do ads because that's what these platforms are. They're businesses. They make money from your ad revenue.
Yes.
It's a privilege to actually be able to make business from posting content.
Yes.
It's like it's an honor. Like when people moan about the algorithm and can't grow, well, yeah, that's what they want you to pay. Like either you're boring content and it's shit, or they want you to pay for it. So either get great at building a brand and content and crafting that message and growing that way, but accept it's out of your control to a certain extent, or you have to pay. And there's no better, right? These are just taps. They're levers that you can pull to get more eyes on your brand. Don't be, the worst thing you could do is be precious about what that tap is.
I like that.
You might have to turn the tap on at certain times if you've got something you're launching, you know?
Yeah.
But just see them as taps, flow of people looking at your business.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Fantastic.
But it's don't look for balance. The truth is, don't look for balance. If right now your organic is absolutely popping off, you're growing, you're getting people message you, that's great. Just know it's not going to be forever. There's going to be seasons.
Yes.
These things happen in seasons.
Yes. Yes.
So just be prepared for the next season.
Yes. It's powerful. It's powerful. Behind your beautiful office or your studio, I like to call mine a studio. I don't know what you call it. Like call it your office because language is very powerful. So yeah, I don't call it office. I call it a studio. I see the word Gravity there. That's the name of your consulting business. Can you tell us
Gravity
a little
7?
bit about,
Yeah.
Yes, Gravity. 7. And the problem that you solve for clients.
It's kind of evolved. So when I went in that sales career, the company got shut down, and I basically went from 100K salary to nothing, right? And I didn't look after my money. I wasn't careful for any of that. So I had to rebuild, and I was like, I'm never going to be in a situation where someone can take me and my family's money away again. So I have to grow a business. But I knew nothing about business, right? So I'm like, okay, well, what these leads, where do we get these leads from? Why some warm, some are hard to like get on the phone, some are easy and welcoming call. And lo and behold, the ones that are welcoming, they've searched for things on Google.
Yes.
That Google ads, that expanded into Facebook ads, that expanded into sales funnels. So we used to be an agency that would cater for more financial services and lead generation. But then when I built my personal brand when COVID hit, we basically lost 95% of our clients in COVID.
Wow.
Yeah, because we had boutique gyms, a lot of like service-based businesses and everything shut, right? I was like, fuck, I've got to go in on my personal brand. So I'm just going to build a personal brand. And that's when you saw me with the carousels. And
yes.
And then I started attracting coaches and course creators and content creators. And I was like, I wonder if these financial funnels where I'm just trying to build so much trust work on these guys. And that's where I was like, okay. And we just launched a few clients. They started making crazy money really quick. So now, fundamentally, what we do is we help you. If you're a course creator, a coach, an expert, we'll help you craft your offer, create a sales machine, not just one funnel, a machine that can actually generate you revenue. And then we'll help you scale your business with paid media.
Fantastic.
That's fundamentally what we do.
I'm gonna put a link on your business in the show notes because I totally and completely believe in what you're doing. Totally and completely believe in what you're doing. Now, what keeps you up at night? What are you afraid of?
I sleep like a baby, you know. I sleep like an absolute baby. I get up at 4 or 5 a.m. So for me, if I'm not tired by bedtime, I have not emptied the I haven't emptied the bucket like.
So when you're up, you go hard at it.
It's seasonal. So right now is a hard season because I'm trying to restructure a lot of stuff. I'm trying to get a lot of ops. So I might wake up at like 4 and work 4 till 7. My kids wake up, like focus work, because I know as soon as work starts, noise messaging. I guess the thing that eats away at me, to reframe that question, is I hate not feeling like I'm winning. I don't chase money and I don't chase people's opinion, not even my family's. I don't chase it. I chase the feeling of like I am winning within, like I'm progressing.
So your own personal scorecard.
Yeah.
Your personal scoreboard, as it were.
Yeah. That's the thing that eats me away, is when I'm not doing my best. I'm not being the best version of me. I'm not putting myself in best. And I think that equally is why I react so much better to negative and critical feedbacks than I know how to improve. But I'm one of looking, I just want to feel like I'm winning, man. I want my clients to win. I want the people around me to win. And that's all I'm striving for. I only align myself with coaches that I know actually going to impact their customers. It's just a money grab. I'm not interested. But I want to see the people around me winning. I want to feel like I'm winning. And yeah, that's if I don't get that feeling, that's what keep me up at night. That's what stresses me out.
And the funny thing is like they say that if you focus on the climb, you will definitely get to the summit of the mountain. So you don't focus on the summit of the mountain at all, which is a very good mental model. You just focus on the climb, the next stage, the next stage.
It's a blessing and a curse, because, you know, I should focus on the destination. It's because the downside of that is that you don't celebrate wins. Terrible at celebrating wins. I don't sit in any wins, which is a bad thing in my opinion. Can be a bad thing. You know, I've done the Ironman not too long ago, and I was just like, that was hell.
Wow, you did Ironman?
Yeah, I've done. Whoa. And I didn't, honestly, I was like, why did I do that? I didn't celebrate it at all. Maybe like an hour.
I think you enjoyed the process more than the outcome.
Nope, I hated every minute of it. I just signed up to it because it was on the bucket list. It was a year and a half of hell. It was literally the most boring, mundane thing to train for. But what it taught me as a side effect is discipline, commitment, resilience. Like, it took my levels of that way beyond what I ever imagined. Like, way beyond, because, you know, like sitting here on a Saturday, I'd have to cycle from London to Brighton, cycle back, get off the bike, and then go for like a 10K run. That was training on a Saturday. Jesus
Christ.
And dude, I'm not like super, I can train, right? I'm okay, but I'm not one of those athletes. So
this is David Goggins, man.
I wish. I think he would call me a part-time savage. I wish.
This guy is savage, man. Yo. Am I not privileged to have Danny as a friend of mine? Jeez.
I appreciate you, mate. But I guess what I'm bringing it back is, that's the downside, is that I don't celebrate wins. I don't celebrate my wins.
Yeah. But you know the good thing is that you have people in your life that will help you, give you that perspective. Yeah. Family, kids, you know, so they always have people in our lives that give us, you know, that perspective. Man,
big time. I'm getting married to my missus. I don't know when this podcast will come out, right? But I was thinking about the speeches, right? And like, what am I going to say in the speech? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so true what you say, because I don't celebrate. I'm very hard on myself, like extremely hard. And I was sitting thinking, fuck, what am I going to say to my missus on the speech? And the truth is, like, I've never really had a lot of self-belief. I've got self-confidence in myself. Like, I know if I'm going to say something, I'll do it.
You don't look like it, man. You look like a warrior.
Yeah.
You look like a warrior. That's why I said this guy's my guy. My kind of guy. This guy's a warrior. Like, he's the kind of guy, like, if I'm with you, I'm going to war with you, man.
And you will. Like, genuinely, you will. But it's because people are looking for self-belief, and they're looking for self-love, and they want this self-esteem, and they want this. It's not going to happen. Like, it don't just happen. It's about it's about committing to your word and your actions. And what happens is those things start to stack over time, right? I don't believe myself. A lot of the time, I struggle with belief. Yeah. Well, I have imposter syndrome. I have all these things that everybody has, but because I've stacked so much accomplishments. I've stuck
Yes.
to my word. I've done
Yes.
things when I didn't want to. I've
Yes.
achieved
Yes.
these things for
Yes.
clients. These things stack. So when I actually now have a reference to look back on, I can act with a little bit more conviction. Whereas if you're starting out, you're trying to grow and you're wanting to have belief, it's not, it's a starting process is I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to do it regardless. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go again. If you focus on that, when you look back in a year, you'll be like, look what I accomplished. And now you've got a different level of self-esteem and self-belief and confidence in what you do. But you're not going to do it from one, you're not going to just turn it. It's not a tap. Don't happen like that. So any sales and marketing, you can wrap it up in any dressing you want. The truth is right now, you're probably not acting in the way you know you should or could. What are the things you need to commit to today, next week, that is going to align you with that goal that you want?
Beautiful. This is so
Are you going to do it or not? Then it's up to you.
Hmm.
It's that simple. There's no, it's just that simple. And some you will and some you won't.
Wow. Danny, yesterday I took my sons to the park. I've got 3 boys. I've got a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old. They play football. So after school, picked them up from school, got home, had a little thing to eat, and then we went to the park. And after the park, I took them to somewhere to go and have ice cream. But I observed something. It was like a powerful moment for me. While they were having the ice cream, I didn't want to have ice cream. I noticed how somebody behind me was pouring his Coca-Cola in a cup, in a glass cup. I saw how beautifully designed the glass cup was. And I now said, this is the power of packaging and design. For a moment, I almost ordered Coca-Cola because of the way it looked, because of the way it affected my senses. Now, one of the things about you I've noticed is that your design is very intentional. Tell us, this is the last question. I know you're a very busy man. Tell us about the power of, design. Maybe because you have a branding agency. Why is that important? Why is that powerful? What people see, colors and all those things.
I'm just a note on that, right? I'm actually not the biggest brand. Like there are so many people that are 10 times better than me at branding. But I don't think many connect the dots between brand, advertising, marketing and sales. They don't connect those dots.
Yes, they don't.
One, Christo's genius at that stuff, but even still, he's so heavily on design branding. Like he's probably leaving so much money on the table from a sales point of view. But he's Keiko, right? He's not going to take advice from me. Anyway, the brand part for me evolved when I looked at the marketplace before Alex Hormozi captions and everything else that was going on, and I wanted to understand how I can build trust and give people a feeling that when they see my content or they engage with me, one, it's a reflection of my authenticity, and but also they get a vibe, right? They get to like me, they get to know me. Yes. And that goes way beyond your color palette. Goes in, it's your messaging, it's your tone, it's your offers, it's the way your language, it's everything wrapped in one. If you're personal, everyone has this, whether you like it or not, everyone has a brand. They have a personal brand, right? It's whether you're intentional with it or not. I like to be intentional with it, because then when people see your content, it will resonate with them effectively. So my brand is more about values than it is about colors. Right? I'm gonna tell you exactly. I'm going to talk to you about marketing and advertising, but I'm going to tell you real honest with my London accent, with no excuses, and I'm going to cut through the bullshit. That's me. Like, that's what I'm going to do. Now, if, you could wrap anything around that color schemes. It just needs to be a remembrance of when they get that brand recall. Oh, there's Dan's, that's a post from Dan. Because they're seeing the colors or the thumbnails or what. So I think a lot of people actually focus too heavily on branding. Then when they should be focusing on selling, especially, but that doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't have a base layer of branding. Because if you look at yourself, you want to go right. if you're scrolling through your social media feed and someone landed on your bio, let's take Instagram. Go and find the best person in your space that you look up to and land on their bio from a complete unbiased position and just, how does it make you feel? What does the offers, what do the buyers say? What does it look like? Like, where do they send you? What feeling am I getting? What does the first 3 posts do? And then look at it and then go and look at yours again. And you'll be like, okay, there's no call to action. There's no offer. There's no consistency. There's no video. Video is important with branding. Like, there's none of this. And you'll quickly have to be able to connect the dots. And my first color, like my first branding when I first started, it's all over the place. And it just shaped, it just formed. I was like, I like this. People clicking on it, they're getting to know me. I haven't changed my profile for years now, my picture. It's actually due an update. So I would focus on selling first, action first, then your branding will evolve. What it will be today won't be what it will be like in,
Fantastic. So it's not cast in stone.
No, I don't think, especially not a personal brand. I think if it's a company, it's slightly different.
All right.
But if it's like me, who I help, coaches and personal brands, no, we're not. I think Jim Rohn says this, we're not trees, right? You can get up and you can move, you can be flexible.
That's right. Yeah. If you could recommend a book for someone who's just starting out, or even someone who's on their journey, say you want to read this book, it's good for sales, or a podcast for someone to listen to start to build up, what book would that be, or what podcast would that be?
The absolute best book on selling, got it over there, but I don't want to disconnect the audio, is You Can't Teach a Kid How to Ride a Bike at a Seminar.
Yeah.
It's such a good book. Such a good book, man. It's very old. You won't find it on Audible or anything like that. But for me, that book is timeless. Absolutely timeless.
That's
because it talks about the role. One of the things in that book is about roles and identity. And most people fear selling because they tie their
identity to it.
Exactly that.
Yes.
And it's
the guy said that I read it. The guy said that your identity doesn't really change. Your role changes. And that if your role increases and your identity doesn't increase, you will reduce your accomplishment to fit the level of your identity. I thought that was brilliant.
Brilliant. Did you like it, the book?
Brilliant. I think brilliant. I'm a bookworm. I'm a bookworm, so I love to read a lot.
What was your biggest takeaway? Was it that?
Yeah, that was a bit. Because once you read a lot, you just see some lines. It's just like a confirmation bias. It confirms certain basic things you've always, known and all that. But great book, great read. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that book.
Yeah. What about a podcast?
Alex Hormozy for me is
it's a great guy. He's on another level right now, man.
Yeah, he's flying. I think his older stuff is a lot better. If you go back to his old stuff, where it's more tactical, I like that rather than these conversations that he's having with team. I really like his hardcore.
He's more philosophical now.
yeah. Do you know why that is? That's intentional, right?
Yeah. Because he wants to attract that level of people right now.
But not only that, right? This is why things don't stay in permanence and it evolves. If you looked at his content, it's taken its own evolution. He's invested tons of money in it.
Yes.
But if you looked at his original content, very tactical.
Yes.
Very, very tactical.
Yes.
But he wasn't getting reach on that stuff. If you go on YouTube and you look at his views on content, just go to most popular videos. You will see that the most popular videos probably are not the ones about the tactical stuff unless they're really old.
Yes.
It'll be the newer.
Yeah, the philosophical stuff.
And it's a funnel, right? You get the more broad topics in. I hate my dad or something like that.
Yeah,
that could be for everyone, right?
Yeah. So pulls in the funnel.
Pull them in.
Pulls in the funnel.
And then what's his game plan, right? Send businesses or coaches that can have over £10 million in revenue.
Yeah.
And I think he takes like 25%
of their businesses
net.
Yes.
Before just to coach them. I don't know. There's probably a lot more into it. So it's like, what a model. It's like, and now, so he's just playing the forever game. It's like, that's what he's playing. He's playing a different game.
He's playing a different game. I mean, he has this concept that he took from Charlie Munger, reverse engineering thinking, when he said how to fail. Because Charlie Munger says that don't ask yourself, how can I have a great marriage? Ask yourself, what are the top 10 things that can destroy my marriage, and do the opposite of that.
Nice.
So he calls that inversion thinking.
Inversion thinking.
Yeah, I'm a big Charlie Munger fan. One of my favorite quotes from Charlie is, "Do not disrupt anything that is compounding unnecessarily."
Nice. Yeah, I haven't read anything.
No, he's a brilliant 99-year-old dude, man. It's brilliant and rich. Wow. Yeah, brilliant.
Have you got any books you'd recommend me on him? Is there any
yes, you should read I just reviewed a book in my WhatsApp community with members of my WhatsApp community called The Tao of Charlie Munger. The Tao of Charlie. Right, that was a great one. That was a very, 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 very great one. Another book I want to recommend is The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. That's a great book.
Is it good?
Oh, very, very good book. Very relevant to the way the world is structured right now.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah, Danny, this has been a very fascinating conversation, man. You're my brother, man. You know we have unfinished business. And I know that you're my brother. Your door is open for me. Let me get my shit together. I'm coming, bro.
Yeah, let's do this. I've got you. As soon as you're ready to go to war, man,
I'm ready, man. I meant what I said. I said Danny's the kind of brother that says to him, man, if he's with you, he's go to war with you.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you for coming on the pod. This is a fascinating conversation. I'm going to drop clips of it tonight or tomorrow to get people ready for the for the main episode that will come out on Thursday or Friday.
Amazing.
And I think the Brits are doing well in podcasting space. We've got Chris Williamson. Modern Wisdom is that's one of the biggest podcasts in the world right now. It's massive. The guy is British. He just moved to America. I've been following his career. It's big. He has interviewed everybody. The only person that David Goggins interviewed in his new book was him.
I remember.
Him and this American that Spotify gave $100 million. Joe Rogan. That's Joe Rogan. No, and he's coming to London to do. We're talking about funnels, man. He's coming to London to do a live event. All the venues are sold out.
Wow!
Off the back of his podcast.
I saw him interviewing David Goggins, but I didn't watch it.
Another guy who's killing it in the podcast space, British as well. His name is Harry Stebbins. 20 VC. He interviews only venture capitalists.
Nice.
He has an angel fund over £3 million. Dude is massive.
Yeah.
Dude is massive. Yeah. So I think the Brits are killing it in the podcast space. So hey, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to interview you. So man, so thanks, man. Let me stop the recording now. So guys, you just heard the recording. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button. Subscribe. If you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, write a comment, take a screenshot, message Danny. Danny, where do people go and get more of your stuff? What's your Instagram handle?
Instagram, Danny Allen Page.
Okay.
At Danny Allen Page. I've got YouTube, which is Scowl with Dan.
Okay.
They're the best two places.
Okay. Is there a video that you recommend for people to start when they want to start a journey with you? I want to recommend that video that you talked about marketing and sales. That was a killer video, man.
Yeah, I kind of talk about a few things. Thank you, mate. I talk about a few things, but sales, personal branding, and advertising and tactical stuff. I think YouTube, there's some good, real long tactical bits in there. But all you got to do is scroll through my reels on Instagram.
Some of your videos, even when you used to teach people how to grow their Instagram, those live classes. I've been following, bro, man.
Yeah.
But I've been following, bro.
Dude, I've got such a pool of content coming.
Yeah, for me to tell you that I've seen your videos where you were doing live classes on how to grow Instagram, that means that this guy is an OG. This guy is my day one.
You know what, though, right? You surprised me when you said that. And I was so grateful because do you know what that reminded me of? I know we're rounding up, is I was selling IG story workshops when I had 1,000 followers.
Can you imagine?
I was getting businesses at a live event to sell them, teach them how to do bloody. So, man, if I can do that, grow to 50K, you guys can do it, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man. This has been a fascinating conversation. Oh.